So I picked up this 74-year-old man, and he said that he's dating this lady. She's like 30. She's 34 years old, and she lives in Dominican Republic. I'm like, bro, how did you find her? It's like, dude, the woman there, like, they're like young and they're beautiful, and age doesn't matter. And it's funny that he said that because I picked up this Dominican lady. I picked up this Dominican lady. Probably about a year ago, and I asked her about the Dominican culture. She said, "Yeah, it's true." She says, and I said, "Is it really love?" She said, "Yes, it's really love. Like, young woman can fall in love with an older guy, like 30 years older." And so he told me that, 74-year-old man, he owned a business, and he kind of went through 2 divorces, and he said that Hinge and Tinder are the main 2 dating apps that you could find intelligent, beautiful Dominican woman, and they see that you live in Puerto Rico. I mean, they're all over you, because, I said, well, how do you know it's love? It's about money. She said it's a little bit of both. She said, I did a FaceTime with her, and then when we started talking, she speaks English. He said, I don't speak English, and then so like after 2 days after we did a FaceTime, I flew all the way to Dominican Republic, and he said, yeah, that's very common. So you guys that are older and they're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, and like a lot of people like to go to Thailand and the Philippines to like find love, get a young beautiful woman. Dominican Republic is a hidden gem. So I'm actually gonna do that. I'm just gonna, because he said, yeah, just download Tinder, set your profile to Puerto Rico, and there's a lot of young beautiful Dominicans, So 74, and he's hooking up. He doesn't look 74. He looks like he's like 55. 74, and he hooked up with a 36-year-old. I was in Colombia, and I went on a couple dates with, I'm 45. I went on a couple dates with women that are like 23, 22, 24, and I was like, is my age a problem? They're like, no, it's not a problem. But that's interesting. It's an interesting story. So it's never too late. That's why you gotta stay healthy. Because I know people that's in that age, in their 70s, man, they're on, they're in wheelchairs, they're fat, they're overweight, they're diabetic, they're taking medications, Like, you want to take care of your health, so that way, you can still be in your 70s, 80s, and still, like, still be doing that wild thing, But yep. He's happy. He's like, oh my gosh. So, if I have another story, I'll share. But that's a cool story for today.